Do you think that becoming a working actor is harder today than it was, let's say, 30 years ago?
I think it probably is harder
It
today.
is harder.
I th-
Competition is higher.
I think so. I think so. Um, there are also, y- well, some things about it are harder today. If you want to make a movie, you can make a movie with your iPhone. You know? You can put yourself out there on the web for everybody to see, um, and that's much easier than it was when I was coming up. Um, that just wasn't the case. You auditioned for things, and um, yeah, I don't know. I guess the competition is probably more now. There are more actors, more people going into it. There's certainly more people making independent movies now that you can make one,
With the
um,
iPhone.
with your yeah, or you can make a digital movie for a lot less money than it used to be. It's the same as in the music industry. You can have a recording studio in your basement, and you don't have to go to some soundstage and pay, you know, whatever, rent it by the hour, uh, to record your song. You can do that. You can get a really good recording for, your friend who has, a good computer setup. And I think the same is kind of true of acting. It's the I don't think the I don't think the craft has changed. I s I still think people respond to actors for the same reasons that they always used to, that there's something they believe, or that there's something honest about the what this person is doing in the role. Um, but how it gets to the screen is different now. And there are all of these different, there's a hundred different streaming services, and I don't know how you sell a movie now. You can't. it they go in the movie theater for 10 minutes, and then they go to Netflix
Yeah.
or Hulu or Disney
Or
or
even
Yahoo,
Amazon.
or whatever. Yeah, and then that's how they're released. So the game has changed, enormously, but the process of the actor's process, I don't think has changed much at all.
Yeah,
Does
probably
that
it
make
will.
sense?
Yeah, it never will.
It's
Probably. I
like
mean,
it's a you
how
either believe it
it's
or you don't.
yeah, you don't. Exactly. And that brings me to I have to talk about Bill and Ted, the two movies, because
Okay.
it took me I don't know how many hours watching Bill and Ted over and over that I realized it was you, the creeper. It was you. Wait a minute. Isn't it? And then I had to look it up, and it was you,
And it
Ted.
was
Or
me.
it was there was I. You was the mask or makeup was so perfect, and you played it. I mean, the second Bill and Ted with the accent. It wasn't in the first. It was in the first Bill and Ted. You did not have an accent in the first Bill and Ted movie,
I had the accent in both
but
movies. It was
not as
not as
dominating
pronounced.
that. Yeah, like in this, it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
It was really, it was
Thank
the death was lovable. I think
That was like
everyone loved the death.
that was sort of the job. In a way, the first Bill and Ted, I loved playing the first Bill and Ted I almost didn't get the job because I was too young. They were thinking it should be Vincent Price or some, old horror movie actor, or, um, Christopher. I think they were looking at Christopher Lloyd and Christopher Lee.
The makeup wouldn't match with the
Yeah,
faces.
I know. They didn't know what they wanted. But when I auditioned, I used that Czechoslovakian accent, and
Oh,
it made it funny.
yeah.
It made
Lovable.
him
It made it
it made him
lovable.
it made him funny and not very bright. And
Yeah.
and that combination, I think, made him yeah, it made him
Yeah.
lovable. It was like
It was. Would you like to be my friend, Dad?
yeah, he wants to be in the
Yeah.
band. He
Yeah.
wants to
That
just,
was
um,
just awesome.
"What about my butt?" You know?
That
And
was awesome.
and uh, it's I have to give credit to Jan Triskin as a Czechoslovakian actor who I stole his accent. So I did a play with him in New York called New Jerusalem at the Public Theater years and years ago. And he but he had this accent, what everything was. He was talking like that.
It
And
was worse than I am. I
it
talk.
was the worst thing I ever heard, and everything was like that. And as soon as I started doing the accent, he became this the character sort of emerged. This guy who is um and the thing I loved about the first movie was he starts out being a scary figure. He's terrifying. He's, the Grim Reaper. And, you know, you must play me. You must play me for your souls. And if you lose, you'll stay here forever. Um, so he's like scary. And then as soon as they start playing the games, he crumbles. He's uh terrible. He's terrible at them. He can't win, and he's becomes this petty temper tantrum, you know, spoiled little shit. Um, you best 2 out of 3, best 3 out of 5, until finally and then by the end of the movie, I mean, so he's not scary, he's 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 just this spoiled little turd, and by the end of the movie, he wants to be part of the gang, He he gets, so he has a really beautiful, journey through the film.
It was great to
Yeah.
bring. It was great to bring the Creeper and or Death and you back in the second Bill and Ted
Yeah.
movie. It was
No,
fantastic.
I was hoping they would write me into the when
It
they
was
said they were gonna
fantastic.
do a 3rd movie. It only took them 30 years to
Yeah.
get it together to do it, but
Do you think they're gonna be a fourth?
really?
I
Is there gonna
hope. I
is there
hope.
gonna be a 4th?
I
I don't know.
hope with the
Alex and
Creeper with you in it. Yeah, I hope.
Alex and Ke I would do it if they're gonna do it, I would love to do it again. Alex and Keanu are getting ready to open on Broadway in Waiting for Godot, Samuel Beckett's play. Yes, yes. Can you imagine?
Both of
It's
them
built
together on
together,
the
the 2 of
theater.
them, Alex
Waiting.
and Keanu.
Wow.
Um, I don't think this is a secret. They've been talking about it. Um, but it's coming to Broadway. It's gonna come to Broadway.
How many? How
Um,
many shows?
I probably a limited run, but, yeah. But I love I love that whole idea. I love Samuel Beckett and his plays. I've done I've done one. I did Endgame once upon a time, and was spectacular. It's so good. The writing is so funny. and tragic. It's like it's which sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. It's like it's just you it can't get any worse and then it gets worse. So it's sort of like you know, the human story.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, so
yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I wanna see that
yeah.
on Broadway.
I'm not in New York. I'm in Tennessee, so
Where are
yeah,
you?
Tennessee, Nashville.
You're in Nashville?
Yes, I'm in Nashville,
Oh, I
Tennessee.
thought you were in Germany.
No,
Oh, no. Oh,
I'm a
okay.
German man in Nashville.
How's that and how is that? Is that fun?
Yeah, I love it here. I
You're in the
love it.
music capital of the world right now.
Right now, yeah, yeah, I know, and that's why I was asking if becoming a working actor is harder today or 30 years ago when it
Yeah,
was, because I know a lot musicians here. They try and try and try, and very good musicians, but
and they just butt their heads
no,
against the wall. I
yeah,
know, I
there's so
know.
the competition is so enormous here. It's like probably like Los Angeles or New York even with acting.
Yeah, but you have to be in the arena. You have to y y if you wanna do it professionally, you've gotta go, you have to earn your pay your dues and find your voice and find your make the connections and meet the people and fail, and then fail better. Keep
Do you think
failing better.
do you think having the proper connections is easier to become a working actor than, let's say, your acting style is not that perfect, but you know the right people?
I think that's always been the case, that if your father was, John Barrymore or you can there door I'll tell you what, I think that kind of, I don't know, it's nepotism. It's when you get the job because of who you know, right? Um, that'll only get you so far because it might get you your first movie, you know? They'll try it. They'll try it. But if the first movie stinks, um, you
No
know,
one will ever call you
well,
again.
his dad was great, but
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
You're Steven Spielberg's son, yeah, but your acting is shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, exactly, exactly, you know, at the end of the day, it's like how extraordinary. It must be really, really hard, I think, for the children of like John Lennon, Sean, um, you get or Dweezil Zappa, who I love, is an incredibly talented guy, but his father was left such a those are huge shoes to fill, and you're always gonna be compared to your dad's, you know? Eh, and that's so you can it'll only get you so far. You have to be able to produce and and move people, Hank Williams Jr. Well, Hank Williams, holy crap, com
He was, and
like well,
until
yeah,
he,
but he was a hero in the music world, this
because of his
legendary figure. What do you do
rebelling,
if
yeah.
you're his son, you know?
You have to rebel and get your own style and don't give a crap and
And don't get
drinking and
yeah,
smoking. Hank, why do you drink? Why do you smoke?
yeah, yeah. I think that's true. And
I
Hank
find it
Williams
awesome.
Jr. is wonderful. He's a great, you
Wow.
know,
I
you'll
love
get
his songs.
but you'll get your shot. You'll get a shot because of who you know. But at the end of the day,
If you miss
if
that shot, uh,
if you don't produce,
uh,
you know,
Yeah.
It just isn't gonna, you know,
Speaking of
last.
producing, William, that reminds me on, I think it was Die Hard 2, Klaus Dieterich. How did they come up with a German name for you? Klaus Dieterich.
Klaus. Oh,
Klaus
Klaus.
Dieterich.
Oh, that was in The
Was Die
Mist, I
Hard?
think.
Was in the
No,
Mist or
in
Die
Die
Hard?
Hard, I was Colonel Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Um,
No, Green Mile. Green
in The
Mile.
Green Mile, I
It
was
was Green
Klaus Dietrich.
Mile.
Yeah,
Klaus Dieterich.
yeah. Well,
How did they come up with a German
I don't
name?
know. How
Klaus
did you end
Dieterich,
up
you
in
know?
Nashville? I was,
Yeah,
I was,
yeah. On on
I
on
was.
on the map.
It's not the first. Um,